Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Omori. We're at the Orange Oasis, so this part's a bit long because we're covering pretty much most of the stuff there is to do here. So,
What is there to do here without like giving anything away, like to the best of your ability?
a lot of high-level encounters if you want to level up early, as well as just side-questy stuff.
Did you know that dinosaurs were the real rulers of ancient Egypt? It's true. That's why their god has an alligator for a face.
What?
Gonna need a source on that.
Okay, so I'm getting a little tired of desert and dessert puns. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Okay.
I mean, we're walking around on a giant desert cake, and I'm not here for it. I'm kind of tired of that particular thing.
Well, I think in the context of this game, it's fine. Like the only other time I can think of it, that pun is Sonic Lost World. You think so? Okay, I guess I don't play as many games as you guys do because the only one I can immediately think off the top of my head is like Sonic Lost World, and that was 10 years ago. You know, so it's not exactly a trope I would like find tiring, I guess.
I think it's so common. I think it's as common as it is because people frequently misspell desert and dessert as each other, you know?
Yeah.
The mnemonic I learned to get it straight was that there's two S's in dessert because you want more of it.
Yeah, that helps. But it's like, it's the same kind of dumbass mistake that everyone still makes, even though it's blatantly obvious, as like mixing up possessives and plurals.
Or if you're me, writing loose when you meant to say lose. Because I do that shit all the time.
Well, I mean, that's a little bit more forgivable in this age of touchscreens and typewriters because, like, it's incredibly easy to just type something incorrectly by muscle memory. Like, I'll frequently...
No, hold on. In that case, you just justified the reason why desert and dessert was still misspelled.
Well, no, because people were doing that long before they started typing everything that they wrote.
Yeah. But it's also a reason that why it would still continue even to this day because fucking autocorrect has ruined everything.
Okay, Boomer Johnny. Oh, back in my day, we used a piece of paper and pencil.
Autocorrect fucks me more than anything else, and I'm already
it
very
ducks
illiterate.
you more than anything else.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, my apologies. That poor duck.
Look. Mistakes that people make when they're typing, that's a different matter because muscle memory can seriously fuck you in that situation. But I'm talking about mistakes people make even when they're writing with a pen and pencil. With a pen or pencil, because
Nobody writes anymore.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like this was a mistake that I remember people making a lot when they did still write. I was that kid who would occasionally sit in the back of class actually like writing the rough draft to my next stupid Legacy of Kain fan fiction in my notebook. So I know a thing or two about writing. I used to have one of those stupid calluses on my finger that you get when you have a pencil leaning against it 24/7.
Dude, so I tried writing again a while ago, and I should get back to that. I say, as I continue to say, I should get back to that and never actually do it. But on the point, like I hadn't written with a paper and pen in a long time because any writing I was doing on a computer. My fucking arm hurt trying to do it. Am I like, am I the problem? Am I like what the old people are talking about and how technology is ruining society?
You're out of time.
No, writing on a computer is just generally better in every way. It is.
It's a lot faster too.
It's
is the other thing.
It's faster. It's easier to proofread, and then when you're done, it's already all typed up. Because you see, if you hand wrote everything, you would have to type it all out afterward, and that's a whole long extra step. In fact, it's such an extra step that J.R.R. Tolkien complained about it in one of his introductions.
Oh, complained about having to typewrite the whole thing?
Well, he couldn't afford to get a professional to do it, so he had to do it himself.
At the same time, if someone takes the time to like write me something physically, like a letter, like which granted is not many people, I think it's just my grandparents at this point. Like there's something that I found a little more heartfelt than just something as cold as something typed. Even if you use like a whimsical like font.
So my problem is just that I have to type anything I'm writing to anyone. Because my handwriting's so fucking bad.
I think everybody's handwriting is garbage, to be fair.
No, you don't listen. You don't understand.
Yeah. No, there are plenty of people out there. Well, less so nowadays, but like in general, there are plenty of people who have like pleasant looking handwriting that is easily legible. Terrible handwriting comes about mainly because certain people in certain professions have to write a whole lot of stuff really, really fast, which is why you get stuff like the stereotype that doctors write all their prescriptions in chicken scratch, because they have to write they have to do a lot of paperwork, and they have to do it quickly. So that they develop this way of writing everything in goddamn shorthand, and writing whatever they write in as expedient a way as possible, because the important thing is to get it down on paper, not to make sure it can be read.
How good is your cursive?
I used to be able to write in cursive at one point in my life, but now
I'm still bitter about my second grade teacher saying, "Oh, when you're in middle school, you'll only be able to write in cursive, and in the real world, everybody will only let you write in cursive." And then you get to the real one, like, I don't fucking give a
Nobody
shit.
fucking cares.
Yeah.
Like, I understand, like, the meaning behind the words when they're really saying that, but at the same time, man, you couldn't be more fucking wrong.
Well, at some point in life, in history, that was partly true.
Yeah.
But,
But nowadays, it's likely more just a means to make sure that you keep practicing it. It's more of a just in case sort of thing. But saying that you're only going to be able to write in this or that is just, it's overreaching.
Yeah, no, it's like one of those things where when you're in high school, you say, "Oh, your college teachers, they're not going to let you get away with this," and your college professors absolutely will let you get away.
The only job you'll get in the animation industry is Nickelodeon or Disney. It's like, yeah, sure.
What?
They're not paid enough to.
Like when I was in the Art Institute, like some professors hammered in the fact that you will be job searching for something in Nickelodeon or Disney specifically, as if those are the only two things that are out there.
That seems
and this but that's like
wrong.
everyone, yeah, it was crazy wrong even then, because like YouTube and like the internet was already well established as something that you can make a living for yourself. You don't have to have a job in those like industries.
The expectations that schools are designed to prepare you for are always at least 10 years out of date, it seems. It's weird.
Yeah, it's because we live in a world that's changing faster than it ever has before. That's one thing, because schools are ultimately taught to teach you to work in a business cubicle drone environment where you have a boss who tells you what to do, and then you do it and you sit quietly and you do your job. Like that's the kind of teaching that's most common in at least my experience for American schools. And they want you to get good grades, so they just throw standardized tests at you. So you don't actually end up learning anything meaningful. You just know how to guess in multiple choice questions pretty dang well.
I'm going to compliment the graphics of this game for having like actual like footprints in the sand behind you.
Oh, I always appreciate that. Yeah. One of these days, I know this is mostly me being a Nintendo gamer and experiencing like the technology of video gaming roughly like 5 to 10 years later than everybody else, but how often is it like when you're in a beach or snowy area that like modern games will keep your footprints from like minutes ago in the sand versus them fading in like 20 seconds?
Well, I'm not sure how common that would be, but there is a reason for them to fade sooner rather than later.
Yeah, memory, because you have to remember which ones are like That's just another thing to keep track of.
Yeah.
too.
Well, I mean, also computer memory, but
That's what I meant, was like computer
Oh,
memory,
yeah.
so that like it saves. It's a stupid detail to need to like waste God knows how much RAM tracking which steps have been stepped on and when they need to move. With
Yeah.
that said, when I was 7 years old in Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, seeing that my steps made footprints on the ground made my brain go like, what? Oh my gosh! Like that's one of the.
This must be what they mean by actions have consequences.
I like the name of this enemy, Ginger Dead Man.
Well, that's a raw fucking name. I like that.
Did we all just eat cookies in front of the gingerbread man monster?
Or maybe
Yes.
we ate their friends.
Was that a taunt? Were we taunting him?
Do gingerbread men weep for they live in houses made of flesh?
He screams for he does not know. Reminds me of a bit of Pokemon Heart Gold Silver, where they have the Regice in the ice cave. And then they're talking to the Regice, like, the Regice is surprised by the ground. And it's like, why? You're made of ice. And then someone responded, you'd be surprised if the ground is made of flesh, too.
So, this is a toast ghost. Does that mean he died twice?
I have
Yeah.
no idea.
Well, maybe he didn't die the first time and only suffered extreme third-degree burns.
Yeah. That's fucked up. I'd rather they
And
die
even
twice.
in the afterlife, he can only conceive of himself as an image of the injured version of himself instead of his idealized version.
So it's like if Anakin Skywalker came back as a Force ghost at the end of Return of the Jedi, but instead of being the old man from the original or Hayden Christensen from the prequels, he was the burned up limbless guy just floating there.
Yeah, Hayden Christensen specifically shouting, "I hate you!"
The Force Ghost still has a robot hand.
No, he'd be that outtake version who's just like, I hate you.
Wait, there's an outtake version where he's like, "I hate you."
Yeah, it was an outtake, I think, where they just flubbed up the line while he was supposed to be writhing in the sand. So
While he's actually on fire. No, I'm kidding. I don't actually
Damn.
know.
so he just grins and says the line all cheerful like.
Yo, Obi-Wan, just want to say I hate you, man. Want to go get
Word.
drinks after this?
That'd be some shit though. Like again, the Return of the Jedi, Luke looks over yonder and sees the ghosts of Yoda, Obi-Wan, and Darth Vader. Like he's still in the suit and all that. It's like, what? I didn't know
Still
you
in the
carried
suit.
that.
Badass, man.
Thumbs in his belt.
The chest monitor is actually his Fitbit. He doesn't want to lose his steps.
Yeah,
Okay.
even in the afterlife.
Who that?
Why are the building blocks just in this random fucking corner?
I just want to know who the hell hung
underground
that
desert thing.
poster up, like at the end of a long S-shaped.
It's a
corridor.
dream. Dreams don't have to make sense. Why, you could be dreaming right now.
A jelly sandwich.
And if you're dreaming about a BrainScratch commentary, holy fuck.
Listen, nightmares take many forms. All right.
We just walked inside a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and inside there are shelves of normal ass size bread. Okay.
So much bread.
Peanuts bed, jelly's bed.
Can you actually pick up the puzzle pieces to complete the puzzle yourself? Because it's driving me fucking insane that the puzzle pieces are just there.
Sadly, no.
Damn.
I don't get jigsaw puzzles. I'm sorry.
I've only maybe completed a handful in my entire life.
So it was something my mom got really into over COVID because, well, a lot of people did because it was something time consuming you could do inside. There's that. The thing about them is that it's a puzzle, but it doesn't require any kind of thinking. It's just matching. Like it's just looking for
Matching logic, that sort of thing. It's like Sudoku.
well, it's not really so much logic. It's just like looking for something. Like, there's not really any
like questions to ponder.
Yeah, it's not like a Sudoku or something like that where you
Of
have to
course there is.
figure...
Like, I'm pondering why I'm still doing this.
You know what? You're not wrong. I mean, again, there's something for everybody. Like, if you really enjoy like that kind of, I want to say busy work, but that sounds really condescending. And I don't mean it to be as such, but like it's I think part of it's just that it's soothing because it's a task that's easily repeatable. It's like sort the thing, look for the blue one. Okay, this one has a white piece on it. That means it's part of the cloud. I'll put it over there. Like, I guess that's the appeal. It bores me, man.
I mean, a jigsaw puzzle, the solution is already a solution before you start the puzzle. You figure out the edges, you match together the edges, and then you work your way from the outside in from the edges based on the images. It's not a difficult thing to figure out. It's just a thing that takes a while to do.
Yeah. Unless you're one of those masochists who does like the solid color ones.
Oh Lord, why?
Pure white, yeah.
No, I've seen there was one released by Heinz Ketchup that's all red.
It's just one solid color red. No,
yes.
right.
That reminds me of a Yu-Gi-Oh story from the first volume though, where Honda Tristan, to the English speakers, wanted a gift so that to express his love to the girl he has a crush on, Miho, that girl who appears for exactly one issue in the manga but became a major character in season 0 for some reason. What the fuck? Oh, okay. Wow, I just realized how much toast there is here. A lot of dead people.
Oh shit.
Now we're going grave robbing. And guess what's inside the grave?
You got
More
bread.
toast.
Okay, but like the thing, he ends up press ganging Yugi into helping him write a love letter on a puzzle that they get from Yugi's game store.
Oh, we just gotta ignore the Burning Man.
Yes.
Sure. I mean, that's honestly if the girl you like does like puzzles, that's kind of a sweet gift to get for someone. I don't know where the line between sweet and creepy is, but it's probably on the sweet side, I would imagine.
Well, I mean, like, the actual point of the story was that there was a teacher who was an absolute bitch, and who finds out about the puzzle and wants to expel the student behind it because she had a bad date and she wants to take it out on one of the students.
What? Wow, that's the pettiest thing I've heard in my entire life.
Early Yu-Gi-Oh was like full of extremely cartoonish bad guys.
And wait, so since this is like season 0 Yu-Gi-Oh, does Yugi like murder this school teacher?
Actually, in this case, it's a bit weird. He doesn't even play a game with her. He just kind of uses magic quietly from the back row to make her makeup fall apart like a puzzle. To reveal what an angry, like, stressed out face she has underneath, and she forgets what she's doing immediately and runs out in embarrassment. The chapter is only significant, and that's the chapter that Honda becomes friends with the others.
The original run of Yu-Gi-Oh before Duel Monsters became the mainstay is fucking nuts.
It is, yes, it is absolutely.
It's a good read though. Like, I do recommend it.
What?
It's a bun bunny.
I do have to say the bunny enemies are really cute.
Also beware, because everything in the pyramid minigame will kill you.
You said that this is like a later game area that are you not supposed to be here this early?
No, you can get here this early, no problem. It's just a matter of everything here will kill you.
So you're kind of like intended to come here later, though. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
See, Aubrey almost died.
122. Holy crap.
How do you guys feel about areas in RPGs like this? Because on the one hand, I do enjoy like being able to feel like, oh, I have freedom. I'm not doing what like I'm necessarily supposed to. On the other hand, when you do these areas in advance, when you go back to the main story, it becomes a fucking cakewalk because you're now 10 levels higher than what.
That's the thing. Like, I'm kind of hot blooded when it comes to this sort of scenario, because especially if I know that I think I can do this. It's going to take a bit, but I think if I persevere just a bit, I can get this kill in earlier than I'm supposed to. And there are rewards to reap from that. I will actively try and, like, grind here if I can. Like, I'm save scumming a whole bunch, but it's something I want to do.
You know, Aubrey became toast. There's a bow on the toast for some reason.
Oh shit, they are graves. Oh god. Oh fuck.
What were you saying, Louis?
It depends on the game, to be honest, because like most of the games that even let you do that are open world games, and a lot of those open world games will scale enemies to specifically make it so that you can go anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Older RPGs are a little bit more forgiving about, are a little bit more allow you to do that. Like, I'm saying, like, mostly 16-bit and 8-bit RPGs. Because, like, I'm thinking specifically, most of the Dragon Quests, when you get to, like, the mid-game and you have, like, a ship, you can go wherever the fuck you want. And if you walk into a dungeon that's 10 levels too high for you, well, sucks to be you, I guess. Leave and come back later.
The other thing, though, is that, like, a lot of the games that do let you go into, like, levels that are specifically high level, they're number-based games where you straight up cannot defeat those enemies until you get stronger. So it's just kind of like it's a false choice in a lot of cases.
In many of them, like I'm thinking back to some of the examples I know of. In many of them, beating normal enemies feels like a boss fight. So what will happen is, like, maybe you can defeat one round of random battles. Then you're like, your party's practically wiped out, but you just got a crap ton of EXP and money from that fight that you're not supposed to have, because that's intended to be a level, like, 30 encounter and you're level 15.
Yeah.
So then you go back and you gain 2 levels. So the next time you do it, it's a little bit easier, and then it's a little bit easier.
You're describing Peninsula power leveling. To name it off of the Final Fantasy 1 example,
which was a bug, by the way.
Yes, it was, but a bug we appreciate.
It's I'd say that's more of an oversight, because, like, the game's working as intended. It's just like they should.
An oversight is just another kind of bug, but you know,
I'm being pedantic here, because it's not a glitch. It's just them not thinking about where they put their encounter zones. But I get what you mean. It's definitely not an intended.
See. My thing is that if a game does that, or if it gives me the ability to do that, I don't so much as look at it as an obstacle to avoid, but a challenge to overcome.
Yeah, it's like, but what I'm working my way to here is Aragni Joe.
Yeah, the long lost twin brother of Orange Joe.
Oh, okay. Well, what I'm working my way to here is that, like, the only games where I see that as really worth actively doing are the kind of games where the enemies exist in the world, you know, as non-random encounters. So that
you see that kind of thing in, like, Xenoblade, where in the first area you'll see, like, a level 96 dinosaur or whatever, but it's not going to hurt you. It's just going to stand around, which basically says, yo, come back here in the mid-game if you want a boss fight. You know?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a thing. But I'm talking about, like, more like in those games where there are areas that are specifically higher level, there's nothing stopping you from sneaking past the enemies, you know. It might be difficult, but the death claws over at Quarry Junction can be bypassed. You don't have to go to Novak. You could just go to New Vegas if you wanted to.
Yeah, I know that, like, I think it's Final Fantasy 2. Because you can save on the overworld in any Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
Like, if you just take a step and then reset over and over again, you can get to one of the later towns early and buy shit you're not supposed to be able to buy. until later.
Oh,
if I remember correctly.
Save scumming your way past the encounter rate is a different kind of exploit, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also a special kind of hell.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't actually played. This is just going off of like a Let's Play of the game I watched years ago. I have no desire to actually play Final Fantasy 2, as in the actual Final Fantasy 2.
You
Final
really don't
Fantasy
need
4 is a
to.
good game.
Final Fantasy 2's problem, is it uses like the Elder Scrolls style sort of use your skill to level it up. But the reason that works in the Elder Scrolls is because you can train your skills in multiple ways. You don't have to take a beating to level up your light armor skill. You can go pay a guy to teach you how to use light armor. It's not that.
Why do you need a skill to do light armor? Don't you just put it on, and then, like, maybe like moving quietly with it on? I could imagine that.
It boosts the effectiveness of the armor at allowing you to avoid getting hit. Like, the armor quality is a set number, but your skill works together with that set number and increases the armor class, you know, to put it in Dungeons and Dragons terms.
Maybe this is just me being, again, a pedantic asshole, where that sort of thing makes more sense for like a shield.
Yeah,
where,
and
like,
in Skyrim you like gain perks as you level up the skill, so you get stuff like the armor weighs less while you're wearing it and stuff like that.
Oh, so if you train... Oh, hey, you know what? Actually, that is something that training would let you do, now that I'm thinking through it a little more clearly. Because the more you train with an armor, the more used to it that you are, the less you're going to feel the literal, like, 40 pounds of metal that you have.
Yeah, it's all an abstraction, of course, but, you know, it's that general kind of thing.
It's the real life version of taking off your anime weighted training clothes.